Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for tuning into the second installment of A Tribute to the Beloved. This installment is titled, Why is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam important? Now, from the previous installment, we kind of have an idea who Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is. Question may arise, well, why is he important? Now, there are many verses and traditions one could use to answer this question. I personally will use chapter 3, Surah Al Imran, verse 31. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Now Allah is ordering the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to order us, i.e. mankind, what? That if this harf shart, this is a shart, this is a condition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if what? You want to love Allah. And then He offers us the result. What do? Allah says, فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Then follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a direct order. He's ordering us. Then follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when we look at the word ittiba', we see how comprehensive it is. Because ittiba' means to place our foot in the footsteps that are created in front of us, or the footsteps that we find in front of us, or the path that we find in front of us. And this requires a great amount of discipline. To place our foot in the footstep or the path that we have in front of us, it requires a great amount of discipline. It requires a great amount of humility, humbleness, trust, respect, and love. We have to love the person if we're willing to follow him with that precision, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if we do this, He'll offer us two rewards, and He highlights them in this verse. What are those two rewards? Yuhibbukumullah. Allah will love you. Oh, what a place to be in. And the Prophet Muhammad tells us of what happens when Allah loves a person. He orders or summons JIBRAEEL, and He says to him, I love such and such person, so I order you to love him. Then JIBRAEEL al-Amin begins to love that person. And then He announces to the dwellers of the skies, and He says, Allah loves such and such person, so He orders you to love him. Now the dwellers of the skies begin to love that person. Oh. And then of course, Allah's grace carries on, right? He's the most merciful. And what happens? He inspires the hearts of people, the dwellers of the earth, the love of that person too as well. So ultimately, everybody begins to love Him. Now that's one reward that He offers us. The second reward that He offers us, and He highlights in this verse, He says, يَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ, that He will purify us of our shortcomings. Not just one, but all of them. He will remove that filth from us that we've created. Allah. The grace and mercy comes down, and it's almost as if it disinfects us of our filth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering us this. So now when we look at this, when we begin to examine this, we realize that why is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam important? Because he is the key for us to attract divine love. He is the key. We have to follow him in that fashion, and then Allah will love us. So now, once we begin to ponder this further, we see that this now is almost a relationship of love. You love the Prophet, you follow him, and Allah loves you. And when we look at the realm of love, we know that it follows a different set of rules. Right? And Khusro reminds us of this too as well. In his poem he says, "O Khusro, the river of love flows in a strange direction. Those who jump in drown, and those who drown get across." So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us, motivate us to follow the teachings of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, attract that divine love. نسأل الله التوفيق بحرمة الحبيب بحرمة الفاتحة. آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.